Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Behind the Reel podcast. I'm your host, John, and today we have a special guest joining us all the way from Texas, Mr. Marshall Arnwine, also known as the Homeless Fisherman. And he is just living his best life down there, fishing every single day. If you go check him out on Instagram, you will soon become jealous because this guy fishes all the dang time, and he doesn't have a shortage of large fish to show off. So definitely make sure you guys check him out over there on Instagram. He's doing some really cool things, and we're gonna bring him on the podcast tonight and just kind of pick his brain and learn what it's like to be the homeless fisherman. So, guys, if you do have any questions that you would like to direct his way, just make sure you join over in the live chat over there, and we will take those questions just as quickly as we can. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. This is episode 34. So we've done 34 of these things in the last year. We've definitely ramped up the number of them here lately, and got a lot of really cool guests for you guys. And Marshall is definitely one of those. So I'm going to go ahead, bring him on, and we'll just get right to it. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
Good, man. Just hanging out. Got a crib for the night, just to do a little podcasting. You know how it is. But
Heck yeah.
thank you for having me.
Yeah. So Marshall, also known as the Homeless Fisherman here, he really is homeless. I just found out.
Yeah, it's not just a screen name. I get a lot of people who I get the message maybe sometimes literally 20 or 30 times a day. Like, are you really homeless? And yes, I really am homeless. It's not just the name. Now that doesn't mean I'm a bum. I still work. I still have a job. I actually have 2 jobs right now. So I'm still working. I just think that my time is better spent trying to, get out there and make a living in the fishing community, the whole industry and everything like that. But I live out of my truck. Right now, I'm staying in Austin, Texas for the winter just to do a little work. Like I said, save some money, work on my truck a little bit, maybe get like a camper RV type thing would be cool. But for now, just couch surfing. Got some homies down here. They've been very helpful. Thank you, everybody. Shout out to Angel, Jared Swafford, and all my buddies down here who let me stay. Super sick deal.
Yeah. Shout out to those guys. I mean, you know, making it in this industry, it kind of takes a village, really. I mean, yeah, having that support allows you to focus on your dreams, and I'm sure they're happy to be a part of it and support you along the way.
No, absolutely. I'm that's like basically my whole foundation is all my friends, like the people, even all my buddies now that I've met like all around the country, they're just like they hold this thing together. So it's super cool to be a part of the community like that.
Yeah. You're rocking the throwback hat there. That's probably one of the guys that are helping you out a bit.
Yes, my boy Kyle, my absolute homie, calls me son. So pretty cool. He's a cool ass dude. He let me stay in his basement for like a month in Minnesota. That was super fun. We went to the shop, made baits, went and fished for Minnesota largemouth, smallies, did the whole 9 yards. Super cool place and a super cool dude. So absolutely go check out Throwback Swimbaits if you want to just support a cool dude. I love what he's got going on, and there's a lot of cool things like in the works right now. So there's gonna be some new baits, new stuff coming out. Don't miss it.
Heck yeah, yeah. I've definitely been eyeballing those lately. And what is that one that he shouted you out on recently? It's like a crank down. You were cranking it down to like 10 feet.
Yeah, so basically we have a new model. So this is the waking model. I went and brought baits just so y'all can kind of see. So basically the normal wake walker is just a wake bait. It'll wake and crank kind of. It'll go down to maybe 2 foot on a long cast, but mainly you're just kind of keeping this on top. But the new one that we have coming out has a steeper lip. Basically the lip is angled, allows it to dive down. I personally have hit 12 foot, no problem. Easy 10 foot, no doubt, unless you're throwing it on 40-pound mono or something. But straight up 20-pound fluorocarbon, you can get it down to 10 foot, no problem. Just for banging around the rocks down there. It's a cool new presentation. They're also weighted a little bit differently, so they rise a little bit slower. but that just allows them to get down farther for the most part like that. Jared, even I let Jared take him out the other day. He was hitting 15. So
Wow.
that's impressive for a big crank down like that. That's a pretty impressive depth.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if you viewers out there caught it, but that thing's got a pretty sweet pirate patch over his eye.
Yeah, this is my bread and butter right here. This was originally the Wakezilla bait that I painted. I don't know if anybody saw that, but basically when I was up there, Kyle was like, "Dude, you got to paint a bait," and I was like, I want to do a Godzilla pattern. So I did a Godzilla pattern, fished the literal paint off of it. It got so
Nice.
ugly, I was just like, "Screw it! I'm just gonna take it all off." Pirate patch, straight resin, no paint, gets bit, absolutely annihilated. So
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to be able to actually experience the whole bait making process. Like that's got to be one of the coolest things, you've been able to be a part of on this journey.
Absolutely. Just and being there in person to watch it happen and even try it myself, like trying to pour a resin bait into a mold. I 100%. I knew why they were so expensive before. Now I really know. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And like Kyle's he's very OCD. You got to have that right mindset where you can just, I don't even know how to describe it other than like when you're pouring the resin in the mold, you got to be just fast enough so it doesn't harden up on you, but you got to be just slow enough so it doesn't cover the hole and then harden up. And there's 1,000 different things to go into. You got to be so steady. Like I said, I poured that one with his help. That was the one I did, but I messed a few up. But this is why they're pricey, man. Because like that's what I tell people. It's just like try and make one. you'll be 3, 4, 5, 10 grand in the hole before you even get a good one. You know what I mean? So, but definitely a good craftsmanship. These are all, like I said, handmade. He makes them one by one in his garage. Perfectly in line. Got the little rubber tail there. They come with the size 1 hooks. Got the swiveling hook hangers. That's pretty much a staple at this point. I run it with a size 5 snap. You don't have to run it with a snap. I just think it gives a little more wobble. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. But basic wake bait, but thing gets absolutely destroyed. Very versatile. Swims incredibly straight. That's my favorite part. Just straight as a dime.
Like, yeah. What does one of those things set you back normally when they do drop those?
They're 125 retail.
Okay.
So
that's not too bad. I mean, if you're into the big bait world, that's not too bad.
Yeah. I've definitely spent more money on baits. For the quality you get, that's reasonable in my opinion.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. So has bass fishing always been a passion of yours, or?
I've been fishing ever since I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7. It was really young. I just remember having like, my dad, actually, we used to live next to the lake. He owned a bar, and I don't know why. I've always had like a passion for animals and like catching snakes and reptiles, and that was like my first thing. And I just remember like going down to the dock and like seeing people like I saw one dude and he had this drum, and it was giant. I mean, giant as in like an 8-pound drum, and I was just like, oh my god, like that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like I want to see more of these. And I just remember like having this want to, like, I was like, Dad, take me fishing. And he's not much of a fisherman. He's more of a hunter for sure. But he finally took me down there to the dock with some worms, and we did the generic like bluegill thing. And it was just like something clicked. And I've been fishing like 200 plus days a year for as long as I can remember now.
Wow.
But mainly bass fishing. I've done a lot of different kinds of fishing. I actually have some family down in Belize, and I've done a lot of saltwater fishing for like tarpon, bonefish. Like I said, now that I've been all over, I kind of fish for a lot of different species. But bass always, they always keep it interesting. I mean, I feel like they never get boring. There's always a different way to catch them, or a different place to catch them, or some technique you didn't know, some bait, some whatever. You know what I mean? And there's a bunch of cool dudes doing it. That's the main thing.
Yeah, we got a pretty cool community, I would say. And as you found out, we're always willing to lend a hand, it seems like.
Yeah, that's my big thing is I hope that one day I can truly give back to all these people who have given me so much. That's why I said, like, just this isn't just me. This is all my buddies. This is everybody that's involved with this thing. This is everybody that supports me, like all the homies that send me Instagram messages, repost my stuff. Everybody's a part of it. Even if you just look at the post, that's it. Like you're helping the dream. So that's the big thing. All the buddies.
Is there anything that, for somebody who's watching this at home, is there anything they can do to help support you? I saw you had maybe like some stickers, or do you have any swag or anything like that in the works?
I do have stickers. I'm going to be dropping them here in about like 2-3 weeks. I have some new designs coming out, which I'm pretty excited about. But mainly I'm just like, putting them out just whenever. I'm trying to do beanies and stuff like that. But mainly just if you go follow Instagram at the Homeless Fisherman, that's the best way to help out. It's free. Takes 2 seconds. That's awesome. I appreciate that more than anything. Like I said, I never tell anybody they have to buy any of my stuff. I don't care that much. You know what I mean? It's less about the money, more about the community.
Oh yeah. All right. I got Trevor K here. He's one of the OG guests of this show here. He says, Marshall, I respect you so much, homie. In the day where the swim baiting has become very hype and people just want to play the game, I see you actually out there truly grinding. Cool to see. Keep it up, man. And keep being you.
Well, thank you, Trevor. I appreciate that. Those are very kind words. My big thing right now is just I want to keep it fun, and like it is fun. Being in the swim bait community is a fun thing. It's kind of just, trading baits, buying baits, wearing the swag, like it's all fun. You know what I mean? Dressing up. But I also want to stay true to like my craft. Like, what do? I fish, and I want to be decent at it. At least want to give it my best effort. So that's why I'm just, trying my best. And like I said, people like to see it. People support me. And that's what keeps me going. So yeah, man. Thanks, Trevor. You're the man.
Yeah. And Trevor, I apologize because when I originally reached out to Marshall here and asked him to be on the podcast, I immediately thought that I should bring you on as a guest host, and I forgot to reach out to you, so I apologize. Let's see. We got another one coming in here. Let's go ahead and just go right on down the line here. This is from Lunch Break Lunkers. Marshall knows you can't catch them from the couch.
Can't catch them from the couch, bro. Lunch Break Lunkers, my homie, he does some super cool merch and stuff like that. We did a trade a minute ago with some stickers, and dude's super dope. I want him to do a tattoo on me. He's a tattoo artist. I'm waiting on that. So he said he's going to come down to Texas. We're going to get tattoo done.
Heck yeah. Did I see that you got the Wake Walker tattooed on you? Is that right?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Here, I can pull it out real quick. So this is, let's see, right there. Whew.
There you go.
So Van Caraway did this. Super cool, homie. This is the Godzilla pattern that I did, which I was.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, super hyped about that, and I just saw the opportunity. I was like, dude. Yeah, Kyle, I'm going to get your bait imprinted permanently on me.
Were you one of the first ones to do that? I noticed he did.
I think I was like 5th or something. I wasn't trying to decide. I just saw it. I was like, man, I could do it in my color, and that'd be cool. And now, like, there's like 5 or 6 of us with the same tattoo, which I think is pretty cool.
That is cool.
Linked in a way.
Heck yeah. So where are you originally from? I don't think we went over that, did we?
Yeah, so I'm actually from Fort Worth, about like 3 hours from Austin north. It's like DFW area. So I grew up fishing just like around there, like Eagle Mountain Lake, Lake Worth, Possum Kingdom, Louisville, all these like mud holes basically.
Yeah.
But they have decent fishing if you can get on them. It's not much. I would say I really like the Colorado chain down here. Got some insane lakes. It's all super crystal clear. But I definitely cut my teeth up there on the muddy lakes. Like I said, just doing THSBA tournaments, which was a high school team. I got to fish everywhere, which was really cool. Even as far out as like Sam Rayburn, pretty early on. So I got a good understanding of how all the Texas lakes work instead of just being on a couple, which was cool for me. That's
cool. So you did some high school tournaments then?
Yeah. The THSBA was like, it was kind of up and coming. It's a really great thing for the kids to get into. It's kind of like pick and choose because you got to have a boat and it's kind of tough to get in. But man, if you can do it, it really is a great thing. It was great for me. It was good because like I'm not a sport. Like I don't play sports. I never played sports, and it gave me a sense of team, like having a team in high school, which was really cool, at least for something I love to do. And actually at Azle High School where I went, I was the only and first 4-time state champion qualifier, which was pretty cool. I'm glad to hold that title. It's pretty sick. Not that I'm that amazing. I got lucky a few times, but it was cool. It was definitely fun.
Did you ever consider taking it to the collegiate level, or?
Like I never really had any plans to go to college, and like I said, I kind of considered it, but when I got to senior year, I was like, tournament scene is like, it's just not my thing. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun every once in a while, but like, imagine like having to rely on your paycheck for that. I'm like, no, I'm good. That's so stressful. You know what I mean? It's fun to go out there with some buddies, pitch in some cash, and just go try and win. If you don't, whatever. But dude, like the stress of like, I respect those guys so much. Like Chris Saldane, he lived like 30 minutes down the road from me, not even, right? So I've hung out with him a couple times and talked to him, and just like, I respect those guys so much. They are like, I don't even know how they handle it. Most level-headed dudes on the planet. They can go through all that stress of like, oh, I gotta catch these fish, or I'm not gonna be able to eat. Like, this is the paycheck. That's not for me. I don't know if I could do it. So like I said, I respect those guys. It's super awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. So, well, let me see here. We got Cyber Yacker here. I think he's a fellow Austin guy. He says you need to hit Decker Lake.
I have fished Decker before. I always get harassed out there by the game warden, but they're very, 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 very strict on that lake. Last time I was there, I had a life jacket ticket, so I'm like, I don't really want to go back. But there is really good fishing on that lake. No, there's not.
Yeah, apparently it's kind of a hidden secret because, Cyber Yacker, he does some YouTube stuff, and he seems to post some pretty good fish every now and then. But
Decker's interesting. It's definitely like, it's unique in terms of like all the Austin lakes, because now like Lake Austin doesn't have the grass like it did, but Decker still is like filled with hydrilla, which is pretty cool. You can drag a softie around there, and it's not hard to get bit. And there's just a lot of fish in there. They did turn the power plant off. I forgot when they did that. It was kind of before my time here, but it hasn't really changed much. Like the fish still act like it's on. You know what I mean? They act like it's in that warm water, even now when it gets colder. That's a good lake though. I like that lake. Just it's super grassy. Just something different to go hit when I'm not feeling the super crystal clear water giants that follow but don't eat. Smart ass fish.
Yeah, you get it. You fish a lot of I think the picture that I used for the thumbnail in this video is you kind of with the Austin. Is that Austin in the background?
Yeah. So that's Ladybird. That's the one lake and one spot where I'll never hide it from anybody, because it's like so well known. I really like that lake, the town lake, just because it's kind of one of those spots where like it is so pressured, so hammered. Those fish are so smart. I can post a picture holding the fish right up in front of the Congress Bridge, and like go there and catch it. Like go there and catch it. Like those fish don't eat all the time. It's really rewarding when you do get them to eat. There are some days where you just go out there and you're like, man, what is happening? Like those fish have been absolutely pressured. Like just not only just like conventional stuff, but man, they've seen every swimbait. They've seen every swimbait. People go out there as a swimbait destination for Texas and go fish it, and those fish just see them and they're like, no. You can tell. You get them to follow your glide bait, and they come up and they kind of like turn on their side, and they're like eyeing it with their big like quarter eyeball, and they're like, yeah, you're stupid. I'm not going to eat that. Like, it's very tricky fishery. You've got to be very stealthy. You've got to like downsize all your hooks. You've got to make your angles just right. You got to have, small line. Like, you can't mess around with anything like that. They're going to know, rolling up with your 3/0 treble hooks and your 40-pound mono, they're gonna laugh.
What's the now that you bring it up, what is the line choice for, like, let's say one of the throwbacks?
So the throwbacks, I like to throw 17-pound fluoro Seaguar and Vizex. It's kind of like line preference. I know some people really like the Brazex. Some people hate the Invizex. Like I don't know. I like the Invizex because I feel like it's, if you have like mono, and then you have fluorocarbon, right, and then you have copolymer, and then you have Invisex. It's like right just a hair softer than most fluorocarbons, so it's a little stretchier, but you still get all the sensitivity. I throw soft baits on it, and that's fine. I just like that line in particular. But that's what I'm throwing everything on pretty much. The highest I'll go is 20, like absolute max out. Like if I'm throwing like 8 ounces, I'll throw 20. But I try and stick to 17 or under. And even for like the TK and stuff, I'm throwing like 12 pound. So
Really?
yeah, 12-pound fluorocarbon and almost all fluorocarbon. I don't ever really change it up much, just because I also don't have like a lot of rods. I would run mono on a wake bait if I could, but like I said, I don't have 15 rods.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're homeless, so I mean.
Yeah, give me a break, guys. Can't be perfect.
Let's see, what was I gonna say? Oh, so is the smaller line diameter and stuff, is that mainly to do with water clarity, or is that is that
absolutely? I feel like the baits definitely swim better, like glide baits. They definitely swim better on lighter line, but I swear the difference between bites that I get on like even just 20 and 17-pound test, it's insane. Those fish will just like, if you have the right setup, if you got the small hooks, like here's the king shad, right? And those are my hooks on there. Those are size. Wow. This is a 12-inch bait, and these are size 2s, size 2 bronze Gamakatsu treble hooks. And the bites that I get on this, compared to having these big giant treble hooks and the rope tied to it, like I'll even, like I said, 20-pound test, even 17 if I'm feeling, if I'm feeling it. The bites I get compared to throwing the big stuff, they just unload on it. They just see it. There's nothing to hesitate. They go, okay, well, I don't see anything wrong with that. When they start seeing all this hardware and split rings and they're like snaps and they're like, I don't know. Because it is a very visual bait. Most of them are very visual baits, unless you're fishing at night or whatever, then do whatever you want. But fishing in the middle of the day, I don't get up early. I'm not getting up early. I like to sleep in. Fishing in the middle of the day, like the brightest time of the day, that's when they like to feed, I think. The bigger fish will feed in the daytime because they do have the sight advantage, but at the same time, they have the sight advantage. They can tell. They're going to look at your bait, and I think they're very quick at analyzing. They're just like, oh, okay, there's this gone. Like, I'm out. You know what I mean? If they see one thing wrong with it, they're not going to want to touch it.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and that was something, too, I was going to mention. That Ladybird, is that the lake you were talking about, right? Mm-hmm. You've seen that in all kinds of YouTube videos and everything else. So I was going to say, even the swim baits are kind of, over.
You can literally tell when those fish have seen it before. Like they almost tell you. You see them follow, and they're like, no, dude, I've seen that. I've seen that. I've even eaten that before. Like everybody fishes that lake with swim baits. So, like I said, that does make it more rewarding though when you do get one. I like that. It's what keeps me coming back. I have a day where I'm just like, dang, dude, and I'm like, I know you're in there. there are teen-sized fish in there for sure. I mean, easy. I think it's got lake record potential for sure. They're just, like I said, they're just hard to catch. That's the thing. They don't get caught often. That's what makes it so satisfying.
I think I think you hit the nail on the head. That's what keeps us coming back. I mean, if this was something that we could go out and we could just, hey, if I go throw this bait over there, then I'll catch a fish. And, if that starts to happen enough, you're going to be like, all right, well, I'll just go try to master something else. But like, we're never going to master this. And you have fished every single day of the year and you still are so far away from, right?
I think fishing at the core is an equation. There is certain things that make a fish bite, and there is an answer to every single equation that you're given in fishing. But being able to figure it all out is impossible. Like fish eat every day. Yeah. They eat every day. There's a formula. Figuring it out is just basically impossible. You're only trying to get as close as you can. You know what I mean? It's not feasible to do it every time. I have plenty of skunk days. I have plenty of week-long skunks where I'm like, good God, like what is going on? But like I said, that's just like the goal of trying to climb to get a little better each time, a little better every time. I just try and like learn a little bit from every fish I catch. Every time I go out, I'm like, well, what happened here? You know what I mean? Just never ending. Like, how much knowledge can I get? How much experience can I get? Like I said, you can never get enough, but you can try and get close. That's the striving goal.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've compared it to blackjack, and when you play blackjack, there's a, the book says to do this. There, in every single scenario, there is an answer that says to do this. Now, that may work and it may not. It's just, the odds are there. If you do this every single time in this scenario under this variable, then the chances, are in your favor. But yeah, as you know, there are a lot of variables on the water.
Yeah, no, that's all it is variables. Just trying to figure out what's going on, all variables.
Trevor K. Okay, so he says, all good. Wanted to bump into him when he was up fishing with my Missouri buddies. Would enjoy picking his brain. Keep up the good show, boys, on the road.
Missouri was cool. Missouri was definitely fun fishing. I believe Table Rock.
Yeah.
I think whatever the big one is that everybody likes.
Who'd you go with down there?
Brennan Banks. Absolute. He really. I mean, like, I got the Chad from Kyle, but he turned me on to this thing. I saw this and I was like, dude, that is awesome. And he was like, yeah. And he like pulled out a new one and he's like, oh yeah, check this one out. And he showed me one that was like basically the same color and it was just thrashed. I was like, that's a giant bait. That's so sick. And like, the fishing up there is insane. Those fish are just fired up and aggressive and like they're just like on crack. They just want to come after something super fast. Like we had one moment where I have that pink Chad that I always throw, the little 7-inch one, and he was like, yeah, just bomb it over this point and reel it and burn it as fast as you can and twitch it all over the place. And I just like, okay, and I bombed it out there, just, and this smallmouth, like, and he told me, he was like, yeah, they're gonna shoot up from the bottom and eat it and then just run down. And this big, like, 6-pound smallie comes up, boom, busts on it. I'm like, oh my God, and I miss him. And he goes straight back down to the bottom. Like, I watch him, like, oh my God. And so I keep going. He's like, keep going. I go faster. And right at the boat again, he shoots all the way up, boom, hits it, and then shoots all the way back down again. He missed it both times. It was like, Jesus. Like, those fish are crazy in there. I'm telling you, they act like no other fish I've ever seen. Especially towards the stick bait.
Yeah. That was the guy to go with, too.
Oh yeah. No, he's a super cool dude. He's Daniel McNeely actually kind of put him on with me. Me and Daniel are good buddies, and he was like, "Yeah, you need to go with Brennan." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I probably do." He catches some big fish. Fish on Cradle Rock.
What ended up being your biggest one out of there?
I think I caught one. I didn't weigh it, but it was like a skinny 6. It was like a 5 or 6 pounder. I don't know, but it was just on a Nico rig. We were just messing around like early in the morning. But yeah. I saw a lot more. He caught a 6 pounder on the king shad. It ate it right at the boat, and I got to watch it. And it was the craziest thing ever. It just absolutely like obliterated, like right, perfect headshot. And the bait just like boop, gone, and it's like, oh God. And just seeing a 6 pounder with like this giant head do that to a 12-inch bait, it's like nothing else.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm only about 5 hours away from Table Rock, and I don't know why I don't go there more often. We went and fished a winter series tournament with the Moyak guys over there, kayak tournament, and that was cool. I mean, the water temperatures were a lot higher than I thought too, and that clear water is something we don't have a lot of here in Kansas. So definitely need to make some more trips over there.
Clear water is a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, most of the lakes around here, we're talking a foot or less of visibility. That's
what I grew up fishing too. Same thing, just spinner baits and jigs. That's it. But
those are two of my favorites.
Yes, dude. Even me. Everybody thinks they're like, they send me texts sometimes and they're like, hey, I just sold all my conventional stuff, and I was like, it's like I sold all my conventional stuff because of you, and I'm like, dude, I love throwing a worm. What are you doing? Like, as much as I'll throw a big bait, like, dude, throwing a worm or like a spinner bait, nothing better. You can't lie to me and tell me that you don't think it's fun to catch fish on a spinner bait. Like, come on, they pump that thing.
It's funny you say that because that's what I caught him on in that tournament was a spinner bait and a worm.
Yep, those are the two, bro. Like, it's just I can't get away from it. I like I said, if it's not working out, I'm gonna pick up a worm. A big fish will still eat a crawdad. Like big fish will still eat a worm. It's just you have to weed through some more small ones. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. We'll go down the list here. Lunch break again. What's your biggest swim bait fish? Probably not swimsuit fish, unless you want to answer that question as well. And what's your biggest conventional fish? That's a good one.
This is a good question. Actually, leads right into this. So, I guess my biggest swim bait fish was also my biggest fish in a swimsuit, so that kind of works out. My biggest swim bait fish was a 9-pound, 14-ounce largemouth. Actually, here, I'll show you the bait. It was on this Piz Shadley right here that Daniel McNeely gave me. This one.
Nice.
Cool bait. This one's absolutely destroyed. I have caught a lot of fish on this one, but 9 pounds, 14 ounces. She didn't quite go 10. I put her on a scale like 3 different times. I was like, come on. Like, please just give me the 2 ounces. But it is what it is. That's still a big fish. She was almost 27 inches long.
Wow.
That was a very big fish. Just big frame, big head. That was a good one. And then my biggest conventional fish was 10 pounds, 11 ounces. And that was on a 3-inch wacky worm.
Wow.
That proves my point. You know what I mean? Like,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah. As cool as all this is, like, dude, you can't put down your wacky worm, bro.
3-inch wacky worm.
Yeah, the 3-inch, not even the normal 5-inch Senko. Like,
man,
like a 3-inch little bitty thing, dude. 8-pound test, and it was really cool because my dad was there. We were on a hunting trip, and he's like, "Hey, they got like a lake up here. Do you want to come fish it?" And I was like, "Yeah, like why not?" And it was the worst lake I've ever seen in my life. It was just a mud hole, and I was like, "Good Lord, like this is." And I was having fun like catching bluegill and stuff. I was like, "Dude, this is sick." And like the next thing I know, I'm just like, there's this fish jumping out of the water, and I'm like, oh my god, like dude, this is a big one. And my dad saw it, and he's like, well, just take your time, son. And I'm like, okay. And he dives like all the way down into this brush pile, and it's like stuck. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna lose it. Like this is it right here. And my dad would I would have broken it off, to be honest. We sat there for like 4 minutes, and he was like, no, just let him swim around. He's going to come out. And he was so confident he was going to come out. And I was just like, it's not going to do it. And then it just came loose, and I was like, oh my God. And I just reached out of the bank, and I got it, and I picked it up. And I remember picking it up and going like, oh my God, like, what is this, dude? Like, this is giant. And it just put it on a scale 10, 11. That was a good feeling. I'm glad he was there to see that, it's kind of cool.
That is cool.
But, yeah, was
that a Texas fish?
Yes, yeah, that was Texas fish, first and only double digit. But like I said, I'm not afraid to admit that. I don't care. I'm, I'm working for my next one. It'll come. Hopefully here.
Yeah, I think that's something that people need to understand too. Is that all the time that you have put in, and you're still looking for that first double digit on a swim bait.
I have made over 1 million casts in my life. I've done the math. Oh, for sure. Over 1 million casts in my life. And one of them was a double digit. That's just that's the way I put it, like the odds. It's insane. Yep. You can get really lucky sometimes, and you can get really good. But like I said, at the end of the day, like, it is a tough game. It really is. It takes a special somebody to go out there and be able to like catch one and say how you did it. Yeah. I'll say that wacky worm fish, I got lucky for sure. Got lucky. The one I caught on the Piz, I think I earned that one. That was definitely one that I felt like I knew what was going on. I figured out a pattern and got her to eat, and like that was pretty satisfying for me. That was at the beginning of my like downsizing all my gear, like putting small hooks on and everything, and it just clicked. I was like, dang, like okay, let's roll with this.
Yeah. Kind of pointed you in the right direction after that then, huh?
Absolutely.
I was going to ask you earlier, and it just popped back into my head. I never asked. You mentioned night fishing. Is that something you do much of?
All the time. I absolutely love night fishing. It's just one of my favorite. Like, I'm like I said, I don't wake up early to go fishing. Like, I do not. Like, I don't see any point. Like, I really don't. And I'm just not a morning person. I hate getting up early. I go out and then I don't catch anything. I'm like, wow, that was a waste of time. And I'm tired. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm, whatever. Like, and I'll get up to go on people's boats and stuff. But like, I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up. It's 5:30 a.m. to go to town like 10 minutes down the road. Like, I'll just get up whenever. But I've caught a lot of big fish in the middle of the day. So I'm like, why would I bother? But I've also caught a lot of big fish at night, just in the dead of night. Like, I've caught some really big fish at like 3 a.m., like ungodly hours, especially on like Town Lake and the lakes that are super pressured. I feel like some of those fish learn where they're like, okay, we can't keep eating in the daytime. Like, we're gonna get, we're gonna get freaking smoked if we do. And eventually they kind of learn. They're like, oh, hey, if I eat at night, nothing can hurt me. Like, I'm just eating and nobody's out. You know what I mean? I believe there are a class of fish that only eats at night. You will not catch them in the day. And I remember the first fish I caught on Town Lake. The first time I went out there, I skunked. I skunked, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, dude, this is supposed to be like the best swimbait lake in the world." Like, and I came back the next trip, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna come out." And I drove out after work at I got out at 11, drove out, got down here at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And I was laying in my truck. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sleep, and I'll just get up early. And I couldn't. I was too excited. I couldn't go to sleep. Right. So I was like, I'm gonna put the boat in. It was like 3:30 in the morning. I put the boat in. I go right down the bank, bam, and I hook a 714. And I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty dope. Like, at night, pitch black, I can't see anything. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, so that kind of set me off. Where I was like, okay, sick. This is like a thing. You know what I mean? Like, those fish on Town Lake, they'll feed at night. Absolutely feed at night. They move around differently. They just get ready to go eat. Like I said, they don't get harassed. And even on Town Lake, like I said, there are night fishermen. So I think my best time is like really late. Like, if I go out before 11, I'm like, if I go out like past 1, then I'm like, okay, I'm in the zone. Like, this is gonna happen. Like 1 to 4 a.m. is like just one of my favorite times. I've caught a lot of big fish between them because nobody's out. Nobody fishes for them. And there's all kinds of things that they can eat at 4 a.m. They're chasing around crawdads. Crawdads come out at night. When you take your phone and you shine in the water at night and you see the crawdads that are just out in the daytime, they're normally under the rocks. Well, those fish can just suck those crawdads up. Usually the bait fish will sit a little shallower or up top just because they can't see anything. They'll get close to cover. Even down here on the Town Lake, we have the Congress Bridge, which has bats underneath it, right? The bats fly out every night. I'm sure you've heard about it. Everybody's heard about it. Those bats fall in the water like little baby bats, and the fish will eat them. I've seen it happen. I've seen 5-pounders eat bats before. It's incredible. They sit there and wait for them. They know. They're like, okay, sick. I can just sit here and a bat falls in the water and I eat them. Like, so yeah, definitely night fishing. I think is something that not enough people do. Like, dude, get out at night. Like, some people just don't think bass even eat at night. And I'm like, no, they definitely eat at night. They know, but yeah.
And are you throwing big baits at night as well?
Oh, absolutely. The wake walker is probably my favorite bait to throw at night. Like I said, you can't go wrong with the topwater. Even into winter months, like right now, I'll still catch them on the topwater. They'll just come up for it. But like a big soft bait, a wake bait at night, those are both great options. I try and stay away from glide baits at night because they're very erratic. And like I said, they're not as sight-based at night. They're just feeling. And if a glide bait's going like this, back and forth, he's going to have a harder time like trying to find it. Like I said, they'll be more willing to commit at night anyway. So just have something that just goes in a straight line so they can just track it and smash it. You know what I mean? So I try and stay away from spooks, jerk baits, like I said, glide baits, those stuff. I try and stay away from erratic stuff at night. Drag a worm, drag a soft bait, throw a wake bait. It's like that simple, Just go to areas that you're confident in the daytime too. Like, just try it there and see what happens,
Heck yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we got a guy that's starting up a somewhat local series. We're actually doing 3 tournaments in Kansas, 3 in Missouri, and they're all night fishing kayak tournaments. So yeah, hopefully none of my competitors are going to be listening because I'm going to be throwing those wake baits.
Yeah. Secret technique, bro. Yeah, that's a great thing, dude. I like the night tournaments. I think it's cool. I think there needs to be more of them. They're fun. I guess they're a little dangerous if you want to put it that way, but man, they're fun. You can, like I said, a whole different class of fish at night.
Yeah. No, I think that I never really thought about that, but yeah, maybe these fish you're catching, or some of these fish you're catching at night, you'll never have an opportunity to catch them during the day. That's
never. I know some fish on Town Lake that I've seen. I've seen them more than once, like the same fish. And I see it. I'm like, and they follow, or they'll just look at the bait, or they'll just swim under the board. And I'm like, that fish is not going to eat. Like it didn't eat. It didn't even give me the chance, time of day. Like that fish is one that will eat at night, though. Like that's what I know.
oh yeah, like I'll be back for you.
Yeah, exactly. Just get the location, save it right there.
John Ford wants to know if you get skunked a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I catch a lot of fish because I'm out a lot. I'll chalk it up to that. But there are absolutely plenty of days where I go skunk. I got skunked today. Like it's like whatever, it's just part of it. Like I said, you're not going to figure out that equation every single time. It would be inhuman to expect that of anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have more experience and you're out more often, of course you're going to catch more fish. But absolutely I get skunked.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Okay, so he wasn't really curious about your swimsuit, PB, apparently.
I do like my swimsuits though, so rocking my Godzilla swim shorts and everything. The short shorts.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a thing. That's
right.
Fashionable.
My favorite, bro. Just like short, crazy colors. My thing.
That's true.
I feel like that's the paddleboard uniform. You know what I mean? If you're not wearing some crazy looking short shorts party pants, what are you doing?
That's what Trevor Kay and Ryan Brook this year at all the tournaments, they would show up and it seemed like they had a different pair of shorts on every single time.
Yes.
And they're flowers and popsicles or
my
silly.
My main ones are bright yellow and they have Godzilla on a jet ski all over them. It's just so sick, so dope.
Yeah, I can dig it. And then they kick our butts in the tournaments, and then we all feel stupid.
And then you need to get some short shorts, bro. Get with the times.
Yeah, I tried to do something, a little bit out of the norm, and I wore these tight things underneath my shorts to keep me from getting sunburnt. And they're just super uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of a look, though. Come on.
Yeah, it was I looked really cool, but I was just uncomfortable all day, and it pissed me off.
You gotta sacrifice a little bit of comfort for the swag. Just a tiny bit, not too much, but just a little bit.
I can dig it. Jack Early says hi.
Oh, what's up, Jack? My homeboy from back home.
Thanks for watching, Jack. Appreciate you. CBG on here. Yeah, so CBG, if you obviously you can go back and watch the video, but dude's really homeless. He is just chasing his dream, which is catching fish, but I think his ultimate goal is to make a living in the fishing industry somehow, some way. Not really sure how that's gonna materialize, but yeah,
that's the goal, man. Next 2 years, that's my time frame. Make a living fishing. So
heck yeah, man. Less people in the water at night. Big bass feed more at night. Can't wait to get back down there.
Yep. He knows. Mr. Tweed.
Now, okay, something else that I have written down here. What about your success on social media? It looks like you've had a lot of even recent, success, I guess. A lot more subscribers and followers and stuff. How the heck have you pulled that off?
It's mainly as much as people like to not say they're doing it for this, but dude, I gotta make a living at it somehow, and the way you make a living at it is make the numbers bigger. That's it. So I definitely I put a lot of time into it, put a lot of effort. My big thing right now is all the reels, Instagram reels. Everybody wants to be TikTok right now. Just post, basically make cool YouTube videos, but turn your phone like this and then post them. That's it. Make them 60 seconds. I'm just trying to do cool edits every once in a while, but those reach a lot farther than just a post or a YouTube video or even a video post. The reels is the big thing. And then just trying to my favorite thing to do is work with other people, is get with other companies, get with just people around and just like collaborate. That's my favorite thing. That's I wish that was the only way you could do it. Really, I wish it wasn't some like algorithm thing where you have to get on there and like, oh, I didn't post this enough today, and I didn't do this, I didn't hashtag this right. Like, you know what I mean? Like whatever. I take I take a little bit of interest in it, but my main favorite thing is just, like I said, just collaborating with people, getting together, and bringing up, doing collabs, companies, whatever, all that. That's super fun. And then just being responsive is one of my things. Like I try and answer every single DM that's reasonable, mildly reasonable. If you send me some interesting shit, I might not respond. But like I said, I'm gonna respond to every. If you send me a DM on Instagram, I'm gonna respond to it. Like I'll get to it. It may take me a minute, but I'm gonna get to it. That's my pretty big thing because it keeps people coming back. You know what I mean? I want you guys to feel like welcome on my page. I don't want it to be like, oh, this guy's stuck up and pretentious. Like he's not gonna answer me because he thinks I'm worth. No, dude, come on. We're all like trying to be homies here and like fish. Like you just want to catch fish. You know, ask me a question about my gear, whatever. I'm an open book, dude. Ask me. Communication.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you come off as down to earth and like one of the homies, right? I mean, if they connect with you on that level, then absolutely you've got a supporter, you know. And something that I noticed about you, you're just so consistent. I mean, you're fishing every day, so you have a lot of opportunities to turn that into content for your platform.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm always looking for, as much as I'm fishing for a big fish and I'm fishing for myself, but I am also fishing for a picture. Like that's just part of what I do. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's kind of, some people like old heads will like look down upon it or whatever, but like, I'm fishing for a picture. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to like get a certain picture. I'm like, man, I want this picture with this in the background and I'm wearing this like on this bait. Like that would be cool. And so I go out and try and get that picture. And I think that takes just as much skill as trying to just catch a big fish. You know what I mean? It's just getting a picture or a video or any of that. It's all an art form, You can't like rule it out just because, we're just doing it for the clout. Like, no, I just think it's cool. It's cool to get a good picture, Help the homies out, support throwbacks, support my guys,
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, networking is a huge part of anything, really. If you want to be successful at anything, I mean, you got to be able to network. And in this community, as small as it is, like, yeah, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of us. But even like the Swimbait community, that's a pretty small niche in the grand scheme of things.
Niche. It's growing, but niche for sure.
Yeah, but even in, if you look at bass fishing, it is pretty dang small. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you know the right person, you just might find your, way to get your foot in the door somewhere.
So. No, absolutely. And then making a living in fishing may not be that hard, but making a living in swimbait bass fishing is difficult. That is like you go from here, audience here, to audience here, to audience here, and then what we got down here on the bottom is like my subgenre of fishing. And then like, but like I said, that just means got to work a little harder. So,
and then, networking and doing these things and having that social media presence and all the things that you're knocking out of the park right now, paired with just being a really good dude, like that goes a long way. Once you find yourself in a situation, people are going to be willing to give you that opportunity. If you have that, if people just know you to be a good guy, a stand-up person. I mean, it sounds silly, but it means a lot.
I get it. And one of my big things is I don't know exactly what I want to be or when I'm going to be it or whatever, but I know exactly what I don't want to be. I know everything that I've seen people do it. And I'm like, that's not what I want to do. I know what I don't want to do, and I'm not going to do any of that. And that's what just sends me on my path. And I think I'm, like I said, I think I'm going the right way. At least if I think I'm going okay, then I am. I don't know.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, you just got to do what makes yourself happy. I mean, and that's essentially, from what I can see, that's what you're doing, man.
Yes, dude. You always got to take it back too. It's like, if you get stressed out, if you're having a hard day, you're whatever, why are you fishing? You're fishing because it's fun. Don't lose that. I have fun fishing every time because that's what I just do. I don't go out there like I don't have to catch a big fish every time. I don't have to get a post every time. I don't have to do this. Like I don't put that much stress on myself because I just have fun doing it. So in turn, I don't get burned out just because I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? Good day on the water. Like I got to see everything or this or that or whatever. Or at least this didn't happen, you know. Have fun doing it. That's the most important part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, man. I don't get to go out every day. It's, most of the time I'm lucky to get out once a week,
Mm-hmm.
and if I get to go out twice in a week, I'm just like super pumped.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
um, yeah, just getting out there and having a chance to reset from all the hustle and bustle of everyday life, just
Mm-hmm.
enjoying your time on the water. I think, yeah, if you're not enjoying it, then
You're doing it
you,
wrong. You're doing it
yeah.
wrong if you're not enjoying it. So, you know.
Matthew, he joined us on the Oliver Nye podcast. So welcome back, Matthew. I butchered your name the first time. I'm not even going to attempt it this time. Unless
Acevedo? I'll try.
there you go. There you go. I think that
Maybe.
might be right.
Maybe. I'll take a stab, but hope I got
He
it right.
says the biggest feeding period for bass is at night, especially in summertime and fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Definitely in summertime. They get hot in the daytime. They get hot just like we get hot. And they, like I said, they'll still eat, but they're either going to eat deep in the reeds of the grass where there's oxygen for them to breathe, or at night when it is shady and nice and cool, you know, like when we like to come out in the summertime, you know.
Yep,
They're not,
exactly.
they're different, but they're not too much different from us. There's some basic stuff.
Agreed. You did mention some line earlier. Jack is asking, what do you have a brand preference?
Yeah, Seagar and Vizex is my main one. Seagar makes some great line. Like I said, Invisex is what I've always used. I've experimented with them all. I don't like a Brazex, but that doesn't mean you won't like it. Don't just take my word for it because I've just had my experiences. But like I said, a Brazex is not my favorite. Tatsu is not my favorite, but like Invisex just is like that one where I'm like, okay, this is dialed for me. Like I said, try stuff, but that is definitely my favorite line for sure.
I've been flipping a Brazex this year, and
Mhm.
and I don't have anything bad to say about it. But
Yeah, and see, that's like I said, I personally I broke off with that line a lot, and I don't know. Like,
really,
maybe it's me, maybe I just thought a weird knot. Like I don't know, but like I said, some guys are super confident in it, and that's great. Go for it. You know, I'm not the authority online. You know, like so that's great. You know,
you brought up something. What knot? What's your favorite knot?
improved clinch,
Okay,
just around 6 times, back to the hole, back to the hole. Nothing crazy.
there you go.
I've always used that one, and I'm confident in it. I don't break off. every once in a while I do, but that's because external circumstances. But
Oh yeah, shit happens.
yeah.
What is? Tell me about the gathering. You gotta experience that this year.
I'm glad you asked me that because that was honestly one of my like favorite memories from this year, and it wasn't even like truly on my like big trip or anything. I got to ride with the Leviathan crew, the homies, Eric, Fernando, Patrick. Those guys are so dope, so dope. That was the first time I met Patrick, our general manager, and Fernando, and just super cool dudes, like super cool dudes. So we went and picked up a bunch of rods in Houston, just from some of our builders, and then went up there, and just being able to get everybody together and meet was very cool. Finally getting to meet people like Paul from Piz, Mike Buka, Wayne, all these big guys in the name, Johnny Ellis, like Big Gus, like all these guys. Finally like put a face to it. It was really cool. And then just going there and people being like, "Hey, I watch your stuff," and I'm like, "Dang, that's crazy!" Like that is genuinely insane to me. Like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I got your stuff." That is the coolest thing ever. Like it's very humbling. I'm like, wow, I never really thought I'd be right in that position where people would be watching my stuff. I'm like, dang, but yeah, just being able to meet everybody there was really cool. The throwback booth was fun. The Leviathan booth was fun. Getting those products in people's hands was a lot of fun. We sold a lot of rods, sold a lot of baits, all that. Like I said, that's kind of what we go there for, but also just to network. It was a great time. It was a great time. And then they had the tournament. I didn't fish the tournament, but a lot of people caught big fish. There was like 2 or 3 8-pounders caught. which is pretty insane for just a tournament, just showing up to some random lake that nobody's ever fished before.
Where was this one at?
Virginia. It was right outside of Richmond. It wasn't very far. I forgot what the lake was called, but definitely a cool little lake. It was kind of muddy, but apparently there's a really good swimbait bite there. Like I said, a couple of people caught some 8-pounders, which was pretty neat. Definitely.
Yeah, you don't think of, at least I don't think of, a big swimbait fish when I think of Virginia. But
yeah, no, me neither. But
I'm sure they're there.
Mm-hmm.
What? Let's see. So you have made it 300. Well, not 365, but you have fished every single day. I know you made that a goal for this year.
Yep. Almost. I have this many more days, whatever. Until I started January, and I've hit the water every single day. And now it's not like, I went out and did an 8-hour session every single day. Right. Sometimes it was just hitting the bank for 30 minutes. But this is just my own challenge for myself. Like I said, Jared kind of pioneered it. And I was like, well, I'll do, join in, check it out for a minute for at least a year. I feel like it was really good for me, just to get content out and fish a lot. And even if I didn't, put in a full day, my main thing was just try and catch a bass. Whatever that means to me, try and catch a bass. That's what I think to myself. I'm like, okay, I got to go try and catch a bass today. So that was my thing. I've tried to catch a bass every day this year.
Oh yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I mean, enjoy that while you can.
Hopefully I don't have to stop enjoying it. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But
that's why you're doing what you're doing, so you can continue to live that out.
Mm-hmm.
Where is your number one destination? Where do you want to go? Let's say just long-term, all-time, bucket list. And then what about on a smaller scale, next year, something that you think you can tackle in the year 2022?
So next year, already got it planned out. I'm going to go, basically what I did last year is go down to Florida and then back up to Minnesota. I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to go through Arizona, California, and then back up to Minnesota, fish that side of the West Coast. There's so much to fish in California and Arizona, so that's probably going to take up most of the summer. But I'd like to make this a season thing, so it's this is going to be season 2. I'm going to this place. Here's the tour. Let's fish. Let's meet up. Whatever. Let me sleep on your couch, please. I'm just fine. But hopefully I can make it a thing like that. So every year go in different places for the summer, come back to Austin, work for a little bit, and then leave again. So next year, Cali, Arizona, all my Cali and Arizona homies. I'm excited to see you guys. I've never been to either, so I'm pretty pumped. And then wherever else I end up. And like I said, Kyle's got basically he's so generous and lets me stay at his place and help make baits and just hang out and stuff. So that's probably where I'll stay a decent chunk of the time, just to see those guys because they're so close now. Good friends, basically family at this point. And then long term, I have kind of a goal in the next 5 years. I want to go to Japan. I want to get a backpack, get a couple of Leviathan travel rods, a couple baits, and just go. Literally I just walk, don't know where I'm going, don't know how to speak Japanese, don't know. I want to go bass fishing in Japan. That's it. And I'm going to document the whole thing. That's one of my goals for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what'll happen, but that's the fun of it, Definitely a lot of great bass fishing in Japan. I'm sure everybody knows at this point. That's part of 50% of the swimbait was cultivated there, and the world record bass and everything like that. So it's something I definitely want to see in my lifetime for sure.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sure whenever you get around to doing that, you'll probably have some companies knocking at your door wanting to be a part of it,
That's what I'm hoping. So that's what I'm hoping. Hopefully it'll be funded.
Yeah, man, I can't imagine, trying to do this all on your own. And I can't imagine, you don't really have probably much of an income coming from the fishing world, right?
I make pennies on the dollar from certain things, but I do sell stickers, but that's less of a profit thing than it is just get y'all. I want you guys to have my stickers. That's my main thing. I'm not trying to make a bunch of money off that, but mainly right now it's just me just working, you know what I mean? And then when I was traveling a lot last year, I did a lot of busking. Like every single city I played the bass guitar, and I would just set up on the corner and just play and play and play until my fingers bled, and just, okay, here's what money I made today. Like, like that's what funded the trip basically, was me like playing guitar and then like little donations here and there. Nothing was really like, I don't know, like I said, I wasn't like handed a whole bunch. This was straight up like at the beginning of this year, I was like straight up homeless. Not even like a joke, not even like, oh, I'm gonna go do this. Like straight up nothing. Like, dang, I'm in my truck now and I'm going. Like what do I have? And now I've come honestly, I've come a long way since then. And it's awesome. It really is awesome. Like I said, I'm in a real nice place right now. I'm happy, you know.
Do you feel like you learned a lot about yourself? Like, that seems to me like that would be just a huge confidence builder. You know, when you take a situation like that where, you know, it could break people the other way, right? I mean, you could really end up in a bad place, not having a place to stay or whatever, but you took that and you almost use it as motivation. Like, this is my opportunity to do what I want to do. And here you are.
It's funny because you say that, because like I've been making videos and like filming myself since I was very, very young. Like all my like real childhood friends know that we used to make like videos and skits and stuff like all the time. And it was just like making videos was kind of my thing. And I remember when this kind of all happened, it was very sudden. It was just a kind of a thing that happened. And I was just like, dang, I'm not in a good spot right now. And I'm like, and I was driving like to Florida. I was like, I guess I'm going to go to Florida. Like, I don't know. I was kind of going crazy. I was just like, man, whatever. And I was kind of like video diarying myself a little bit, you know, just videoing and like talking and just like documenting, but not to post or anything. I was just videoing because it was like something that I know, you know, it kind of helps me out a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable here, like videoing. And I got to, you know, like Florida, and I was like, dude, I have a lot of videos here. Like, this is shitty, but like, what if I did this? What if this was me? Like, you know, and then I just kind of started writing on it because I was like, this is it. You know, what else am I supposed to do? like I can turn this around. You know what I mean? This is shitty, but like, let's do something cool about it. You know, and I feel like it has definitely become something very, very cool and iconic, which that's more than I could have wanted out of this, you know, for sure. Even if I don't get any farther than where I'm at right now, I succeeded, bro. You know, I'm very happy. I'm a happy person for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to go hang it up or whatever, I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine what would lead you to have to do this, but you know, if you had to go get a corporate job or whatever and wear a suit and a tie, like, you still had all the experiences that you've had thus far. Yeah. So, I mean, like, just having that experience, like, that's something you'll have with you forever.
Absolutely. I agree, man. You know, I'm glad I did it when I did it. I'm glad it happened the way it happened. Like, no matter how like in control I was or whatever, but like now where I'm at, I wouldn't change it. No way I would change it. You know, met too many cool people, done too many cool things now, where I'm just, you know, I'm happy for sure.
Oh yeah. What I got maybe another one or two, and then probably let you go and call it a night and figure out where you're gonna sleep. You might be under the bridge tonight or something. I don't know.
Never know. I'll be fine though, wherever.
What is your most memorable catch of this year?
You know what's funny is that I don't even think it was one of my catches. It was God. There's a lot. There's a lot of really good. I'm gonna tell you. I'll narrow it down to like.
Yeah, you're good.
I think I can give you like 3. So.
Oh yeah.
The first one was recently. I'll go backwards. It was recently. Jared caught a 10-pounder. It was 10-1, and I was on the boat with him, and it was one of those moments of like true teamwork and absolute. I felt the same amount of excitement for that fish that he did. Like, and I didn't even catch it. It wasn't mine. It was his, and I was just so pumped about it. It was a 10-pounder on a dock on a hinkle shad. And I just remember like the funny thing is like everybody was commenting about like how fast I was in the net. And I've been telling Jared this. I was like, dude, like he told me about some fish he was losing. He was like, dude, it's just not going the right way. And I'm like, dude, let me get on the boat. I'm going to net the shit out of that fish. Then when you get one, I'm going to hoop like LeBron James straight in the hoop. Just no, like nothing but net, dude. Like it's going in, I promise you. And I'm not like trying to be all big and mighty, but I was like, dude, I'm going to net it. And he literally, I'm facing the other way. He hooks the fish. He's like, big one. Rod drops, nets in my hand, and literally 5 seconds. I can't frame counted. 5 seconds that fish is in the net, and it was the most amazing thing ever. When I set it in the boat, I was like, dude, that's a giant. That was so sick. Like we just fucking did that. Like you did that, dude. That was so sick. Like that was probably one of my definitely very vivid moment. I remember seeing that fish's mouth and just be like, oh God, like I gotta get this. Like I said I was gonna get it, and it just happened. That was a fun one.
Oh yeah.
Me and Kyle had a day. He took me to this spot that he hadn't been to for a very long time in Minnesota. And he was like, dude, I got the spot I used to go to when I was a kid. There's tons of smallies in it, right? Like it was just, he was like, it's loaded. And he's like, I haven't been there in years, but I know it's loaded. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, let's do it. Like this is gonna be fun. So we go and we get there, and it is like, the water's so low. It's so muddy. It's so nasty. I'm like, are there really smallmouth? Like, I'm starting to question him, like, in my head. I'm like, Kyle, are there really smallmouth here? Like, I genuinely, I was like, I don't know about this guy. Like, this is, like, within the first, like, 15 days of us knowing each other. I was like, what is he talking about? And we got back there, and it, like, literally, the boat, like, bottomed out. We were out, like, out of room. And I was like, dang it, dude. He's like, what do you want to walk back there, like, check it out? And, so, like, and I was like, yeah, whatever. We're back here. Let's go check it out. So we got out of the boat. We walked. And we got back to the back of this, like, I'll tell you, chocolate milk, like green, musty water. Fire out the wake walker, and, like, he gets obliterated by a smallie on the wake walker. It was, like, the first one. And it was so sick. And we're like, oh, my God, dude. Literally for the next 2 hours, we sat there slaying smallmouth every single cast in this disgusting little creek. And it was such, like, I mean, every single cast, a 2+ pound smallie. And, like, the biggest one we caught was, like, 5 something. It was big. It was just, it was like one of those moments where it's like, holy cow, that was cool. Like, no one can know about this, but that was super cool. We caught so many smallies that day, and I get super stoked on smallies because we don't have a lot of them down here. We have a couple here and there, but man, like, I love smallmouth. I go crazy for them. Like, I don't think I would fish for largemouth if I lived up there. Like, they're just so much fun. They're so aggressive, but that was a really good day. That was definitely the day where we were like, damn, dude, we're like a team. This is sick. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. We're all in. And then,
hell yeah.
I really those two are my like two pretty big catches. I've had a lot. Like I said, I could like literally list off so many catches here and I might be missing one that was real important to me. But those were dope. Those were super dope moments for me, just in terms of catching fish. Those two.
Oh yeah. So you're going to be making kind of your West Coast trip this next year. What are some of the places you're absolutely going to check off the list as you make your way through there?
So Canyon Lake, whatever lake is good in Arizona right now, I think it's Canyon Lake. That one, there's too much there. Manichi, Jeffrey the King, Phoenix Pitcher, like all my boys, Kazuki, like all those guys out there are like, it's such like a big part of the swimbait history. Like that little, it's like a niche within a niche, like the Arizona swimbait bite. It was just a thing. And like I said, they're kind of hurting from the golden algae, but it's kind of coming back. I want to go see them all though. Like I got to go meet all those guys and that stuff. So definitely Canyon Lake. In California, I want to see Lake Dixon. I think I got to see it. That's where Dottie was caught. Just got to know. I'm probably not going to catch anything there because that's the hardest lake in America, but like whatever, Bullard's Bar, the spotted bass world record place. I got a buddy, Johnny Resendez. He lives right next to it, so he's like 30 minutes from it. So I'm like, dude, we got to go. And then Clear Lake. Clear Lake is another one. I got to hit Clear Lake. It's just like everybody talks about Clear Lake. Let's go to Clear Lake. Let's do it. Some big fishing.
Heck yeah.
Those are my main spots but I'm open to whatever. Like this is literally just roll on, and if some dude's like, hey, come get on this bite with me, okay, let's go. Like it's happening,
Yeah.
It's total freestyle.
That's badass, man. I think that's Yeah, I mean, I think just about everybody that's probably watching this right now probably wishes they could do the same thing.
I'm very blessed to be where I'm at. You know, like I said, it's not. I don't want to take this for granted for sure. I want to do everything I can, and at least try and bring you guys along as best I can. You know, video and stuff, and just keep you guys in the loop, talk to everybody. So that's all I can do.
One of these days, you're gonna have enough money laying around to hire a camera guy and just follow you around.
That's the truth. I hope so, and I hope this is one of my goals. I hope that one day I can hire a buddy for sure, like one of my buddies that helps me out here, or somebody that was important to me on the trip. Like I hope I can hire at least like a crew. That'd be cool if I had a crew of homies that were all helpful. I hope I can pay them, like do good stuff for them, because that would be my way of giving back. Just be like, hey, come film for me, or come do this for me, or edit this, or whatever. Like let's make it great, because you were so helpful. I want to help you guys out. Giving back pretty important to me. So one day, cameraman.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah. What SB Fishing? I guess he kind of did his little tour on YouTube where he went around.
Yeah, that was really cool. I did meet him at the gathering. Cool dude, super cool dude.
Yeah, he's from that area.
Yeah, he came out, fished the tournament, did pretty good too. Yeah, he's a cool dude for sure. We were kind of planning on meeting up somewhere along the road. Like I said, me and him, like they're literally all over the place. So it's just like we'll meet up somewhere eventually. But
yeah, making those schedules mesh.
Yeah, yeah, it'll happen one day. But yeah, for sure on the bucket list.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, getting to meet all these people that you've been paying attention to in the swim bait world, and what do you like? How do you explain that? Just now being a big part of it. That's pretty cool.
This here it is right here. I'm going to tell you like when it hit. So I remember following Jared Swafford from the first like day. Like it wasn't the first day, but it was like one of the first few days when he was starting to fish every day, and it was just like watching him like fish and learn. I was like, dude, this guy is so cool. I want to be like him, right? I want to be like this guy. I want to be like Mike Gilbert. I want to be like all these dudes, right? And then I was at work the other day, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, Jared Swafford is my boss. We are homies, and we go fishing together on the daily, like on the regular.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, really? I'm that far in? You know what I mean? Like, that's insane to me. It literally blew my mind a little bit. I'm just sitting there like, dang. Like, not, 2 years ago, I was like literally looking up to this guy like I would never get there. And now I'm like here, and I'm like, dang, this is cool. We're all friends. You know what I mean? That was super cool just to, have any of this happen.
Yeah, and you're gonna do well, man, and you've got a very humble attitude about it, and you can tell that you just have a passion for fishing, and those two things are probably gonna serve you well.
Thanks, man. I do appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words.
But well, I think I'm gonna sign off and get the kids to bed here tonight. But I definitely appreciate having you on the show, and maybe one of these days we'll cross paths and get to do some swim bait fishing together.
Oh, for sure, one day it'll happen eventually.
You'll have to let me know next time you're in the Missouri area. I can just shoot on over.
Let's do it. I'll be there again for sure. I got to go back. I can't. Those fish are crazy. Got to get back to them. So I'll definitely let you know.
And Trevor K, you got to come because I failed you on the guest host.
Do y'all have boats? Does one of y'all have a boat?
Yeah, I have one. I just actually have two of them right now. My wife's not too happy about that. But yeah, I just got a 2005 Skeeter ZX225. So
let's check it out then.
Yeah.
I'd love to hop on the boat with you, man. That'd be sick.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, check him out on Instagram. It's just the Homeless Fisherman, right?
The Homeless Fisherman. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, and also go check out Leviathan Rods and Throwback Swimbaits. Go check out my homies.
Absolutely. And we got a sticker drop coming up, so make sure you guys grab yourself a sticker and throw it on the beer fridge like I do.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So, all right, man. Well, you have a good one. And, man, I'm looking forward to seeing your journey for next year.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate it for having me.
Yes, sir. All right.
Peace.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, there you have it. That is Marshall Arnwine, also known as the Homeless Fisherman. It was a pretty cool opportunity just to sit down with him and hear about his story. Kind of cool to find out that he truly is homeless, and he's making the best of it. And I don't think he is upset with his conditions at all. He seems to be very satisfied with where he is at in life. And man, you guys watched me meet him for the first time, and just good, solid dude, and working his way through finding a way to make a living in the fishing industry. So that's definitely something I can get behind. And I definitely enjoy all of the big fish pictures that he posts on a daily basis. So make sure you guys go over there, check him out on Instagram. And like you said, I think it is a really important thing that you guys pay attention to who, like what companies are supporting, your favorite anglers or your, local club, right? I think that is very important. So, Leviathan and Throwback are both companies that are helping him fulfill his dreams, right? And so that is something that if you guys have a need for a swim bait, if you guys have a need for a new swim bait rod, definitely go check those guys out. So pay attention to who are supporting people that you want to support, and that will definitely help in turn. That will help them make the decision to help support more people along the way, right? So if they keep selling these rods and you're using the Homeless Fisherman code, right, to purchase these baits or whatever, like if they know that they're getting a return on their investment, then they'll continue to make those investments. And so that's just my little spiel on that. All the guys that fish my kayak series have heard that one before, but something that I truly am passionate about. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut the ending just a little bit short here. I'm going to call it a night, but I do appreciate you guys all tuning in for the 34th time. Hard to believe, number 34 is already in the wraps here, but we will be back with number 35 before you know it. Guys, thank you. I'm out of here.